Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Monday, August the 25th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the Trade Ideas Trading Room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in as a guest or use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. Very slow day for me today. I actually was a little bit distracted, had some other TI stuff going, Trade Ideas stuff going on. And so I actually only traded one stock and I traded it twice. And this was WUBA and it came on, see, only had three today. Again, a very slow, but at least this one gave me something good. Let's see, the alert came in at 43.49, so right in this area here. So you can see why it came in. Again, this is a play in which I'm looking for a series of candles down. These are 5-minute candles, a certain drop, certain dollar drop. The RSI has to be low. In other words, we're looking for oversold situations. Now, people have asked me, well, how do I trade them? I mean, how exactly do I trade them? And it's not a strategy in that when I get the alert at 43.49 that I immediately buy it. I am looking for the bounce situation, but now I have to start looking at the pattern. So of course, what happens is I'm watching this, but of course there's no bounce yet. Maybe there was a minor one here. You might have thought, okay, but it was so minor that you kept watching it and watching it. And then when you see a tail like this is maybe the telltale, no pun intended, telltale sign that maybe the bounce is over or the fall is over. And you get a number. The volume wasn't bad. Now you see here, the volume is good. It's tapering off a little bit, but it's still pretty good. So when I look at a tail like this, I'm thinking, okay, finally the buyers have taken over from the sellers. Now it dropped again, but again the buyers were still kind of in control. And on this candle here, it gave me the confidence, thinking, okay, now the buyers are definitely in control. Who knows how long, but I will get into the trade. And so I got into the trade right here at 43.10. Now the problem with this stock at this point anyway was that the difference between the bid and the ask was very large. At times it was 15, 20 cents. Almost had to close my eyes and take the trade on it. And and it kind of whipped around in this area, and for lack of a better word, I chickened out and I took 10 cents to get out of it because it was just a little too frantic. And I thought, what happens if it just, decides to go in a tailspin again? If you look at the daily chart, you can see that it had the bat. Okay, this is Friday and this is Thursday. So Thursday it had the big drop from 50 down to 46. Another drop on Friday all the way down to 43. And you never know. I mean, is this, there might have been some support here at 42.73. And actually, you can see, I think I mentioned in the room that was kind of a little support area. Unfortunately, I don't have my 200-day. Well, let me just put it on here. The 200. Sorry about that. There we go. The moving average, and let me just get that to 200-day. Okay, here is the 200-day moving average, and you can see I mentioned in the room 2 points that we were going to have to look at. It was here, and then also here at 42.08 was the 200-day moving average, and you can see it came very close. It broke down through this little support here. And what was the low right here? 42.63. The low here is 43.01. The low here was 40.43. So it did break down through 43. And here's where it kind of stopped. So based on that is when I thought, okay, this wasn't a bad play, even though the spread was bad. But again, I thought, well, maybe it could whip right back down to this level again. And then who knows after that, maybe it would really challenge that 42 level. So I took the very conservative play and I exited here. But on this little pattern here, when it popped back up, of course, I was kicking myself a little bit, thinking, okay, you've chickened out. But I decided to watch it again, and I took the trade again at 43.62, right on this pattern here, on this green candle. Decided to take the trade again. Weathered a little bit of a storm. I mean, only went down to 43.53, so I mean, that's not that bad. And then almost instantly rewarded. It here's three candles later, it's up to 44.25. I took half out there, and then on the drop back just before 44, didn't want to see it drop back down through 44. Thought if it did that, it might get all the way back down to this support level. So I took out half here. My biggest, I guess, problem in this for me in this trade where I should have got back in was probably right in this area here. But as I say, I was a little bit distracted. I had other things going on, and I just lost sight of this because you can see that it made it all the way up to 45.50, 45.49 actually, which would have been another over a dollar from this level. But this was probably a reasonable entry right here. You get this lift, you get a bit of a pullback, big bar, but then this bar takes it all out again. And so, 44.71 probably would have been a reasonable entry, and you could have written it up to this area anyway. So that was it for today, though. Just two trades. Hopefully, I'm not going to be quite as distracted tomorrow. I know a lot of people in the room, and I know I saw this during the pre-market. I know I mentioned it in the pre-market, but this is this DGLY, and it had just a crazy day. I mean, we're talking of a stock that closed, and I think, well, let's take a look at the daily chart here. I mean, again, this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Tuesday it had the massive pop from 373 up to 707. The pullback down to 581. A couple of days. This day was a little bit uncertain, and then another nice pop on Friday, and then today just a tremendous pop. And I think it has to do with I don't want to say it's a taser-like product, but I think it has something to do with in that industry, and I think that's why there's some excitement about it right now. And I know quite a few in the room played it, but again, I did not play it, even though I saw it in the pre-market, but I did not play it. This would have been a nice entry right here, a little bit of consolidation, pop on this green candle, and then you could have ridden it easily up to this level, and maybe got dumped it on this pullback here. So definitely, but just a bit of a lack of focus for me today. That's it. So tomorrow I plan to have way more focus. Here again is the address to get into the room, and I hope to see you in the room tomorrow.